Hey, I've decided to make a video recording of a dream that I had. Actually, two different dreams. But my first dream, I'm a Christian, and the dream was, it started out where I was at church, and we were working. We were building walls and painting the walls. And my pastor was there, and my associate pastor, and a few other members of the church were there. And I had this feeling of fear that I knew people were coming to get us, and I knew we were going to be killed, but I didn't know how exactly. But the feeling in my dream that I had was that we would be raptured. Not raptured. That we would be beheaded. And I was telling my children bye. And no one ever came in my dream. My dream ended, but it was so real, and I know it was a spiritual dream. A lot of people don't believe me and say, oh, you shouldn't have eaten that spicy food before you went to bed. But it's just something I know, and I just really believe that although we're Christians, it doesn't mean that we're going to escape persecution just because we live in America. The Bible speaks clearly of Christians being persecuted, and also today Christians are being persecuted because of their belief. So just because people don't think that it can happen doesn't mean that it's not going to. And I believe that God has given me that warning. Now, whether He's showing me something that's going to happen in the future and I'm not going to be here, perhaps, but I don't believe that. I don't know. Because then I had a second dream. And in my second dream, and this started out a little weird, but weird for me. What happened was, someone came and got me and said, come outside and see. And I went outside, and what happened was it was kind of dark, not too dark where you couldn't see. It still had a little light in the sky that you could see. I saw a UFO. And it was very detailed and very clear. It did not have a shiny surface at all. It was a matte finish. And you could see the designs, like a ceiling, how they might make smears this way, that way, and this way, and that way. That's how it was. And it was gray. It was actually, looked kind of cool. And it's huge because it was so far, it was so low to the ground. But I took off running. And it wasn't like the UFOs to me were aliens, but more of a government thing. The UFO to me represented a government. So when I ran inside, then I realized who had come and got me, which is my fiance, Daniel. It seemed like we were married now at this point. And my children were in the house, and they were in the bed. My little girl was up, because I remember her gown. She has that gown today, and it's a red gown. And she was in that gown, so I was like, fine, just take her. I was trying to grab her clothes, just one outfit of regular clothes, and I was going to get my older daughter up and have her grab a pair of clothes, and we were just trying to get out of the house and get away and just go in hiding. That's how the dream was set. But before we could get out, before I could even do that, as I'm grabbing clothes out of the dresser, we were taken away. The words I used is we were ambushed. But from that point, the dream, I didn't see them taking us away, none of that, or how we got to the next place. But the next place was, we were in this room, and there were people there, and there was a woman, and she was in white clothes, but she was government. She was a government person, and there were government people around, like military. So I don't know, but she was talking to me or something. And I was trying to talk to these people about Jesus and that they needed to give their lives to Him because I knew what was happening, and we were being taken because we were Christians. And it wasn't just people who were Christians; it was everyone else. But I knew that Christians were going to be probably killed. So there was a woman sitting on the floor with her husband, and she was sitting, like, their legs were straight out, and she was sitting between his legs with her legs straight out, and she was pregnant. And she was pregnant enough that you could tell, but not, like she was due tomorrow or anything. And they were laughing at me because I was talking about Jesus, and I told her, I said, if you don't get saved, your baby will go to heaven when it dies. And I said when it dies, like, you can forget it, it's happening. When your baby dies, it will go to heaven. When you die, you will go to hell, and you'll never see that child again. And when I told her that, she broke down and started crying. So then I knew that my words affected her. And like I said, there were other people around, there were other people in the room, but my attention was focused on them that I clearly remember, and then the other people were just kind of mocking me. Like, they didn't believe and all this kind of stuff. But the woman, she took this white medical device, is what it looked like. But it was something I'd never seen before. And it had a long end on it, and it was skinnier than this. It was like a straw, but it was white. And she put it to my forehead, and she went down. Like, she was pulling the trigger and going down on my forehead. And in my mind, what was happening was I was saying, I need to find a razor blade. I need to find something. I'm going to cut my skin open and get out whatever she put in me. And then she did it to my wrist. Not my hand, but in my wrist. Where she went down. And that's what I was thinking. I'm going to cut this out. And that was the end of my dream. I don't remember anything else anyway. When I woke up from that dream, that's when I realized that the UFO was government, not aliens, but government. And then also, when she was doing this to me, I think then I realized it wasn't that she was trying to put something in me, but that she was checking to see if I had something. That something, I believe, is the RFID chip that they're trying to implement actually next year, 2013, which I will not take. And I suggest anybody else out there, do not take it. And I've had several dreams where I was screaming and shouting, I will die for Jesus. No, I will die for Jesus. Oh, yeah, and that's something I didn't say about my first dream, is that I heard the voice of the Lord speak to me. I forgot that. I heard the voice of the Lord speak to me, and He said, will you die for me? And I said, I had to think about it. I thought about it. I ain't going to pretend I'm, perfectness, holier than thou, like I float up in the clouds with the angels or anything. But in my dream He said that, and it took me a minute to really consider the cost. And I said, yes, I will die for you. And then I've had other dreams like that, saying, I will die for you. I had another dream, again, with a UFO. I don't know why, but it was a big, this one was rectangular, and other ones broke off from it. One broke off this way, another one broke off this way, that way, and then down. So there was like 5 there together, and a friend of mine that I go to church with was standing beside me, and she said, and she was looking at him in awe, and she was like, I just knew that she was thinking that this was the answer to all the problems that we had, and that this was the help that we were getting. And I told her, I said, fall for this mess. You gotta, don't do it, is what I say. And I was going away. I was trying to get out of there. And I was saying, I will die for Jesus. I will die for Jesus. And that was the end of that. So, I believe that God is warning me, and many others, because after that, I looked up people having dreams about UFOs. And it seemed the same, like they knew it was a government thing. I don't know. So I do believe that we're having days of destruction on their way, but I don't sit around and worry about that. I just know that He'll prepare me when that time comes. I'm not hoarding food. I'm not doing all those things, because He said that He will provide, and He will protect, and He will take care of us. So I'm looking forward to the day where He raptures us, and I can't wait.